Folks, there's been a big conversation around audio in my absence. I haven't uploaded in a couple of days. But the difference between recording EVPs on MP3 and in waveform. Now, a lot of the ghost hunting companies, which I do not suggest that you buy recorders from, because they charge a lot more for them, but a lot of the companies sell this recorder here, which is an Olympus W5 852 W5-852. This is the first recorder that I bought when I started doing paranormal stuff again, and the thing about this recorder is it only records in MP3. Now, can you get recordings of EVPs in MP3? Yes, you can, but you do lose some information when you're recording. What you're doing is recording information. You want that information to be as accurate as you possibly can. You know, it's like having a fishing net which catches the big fish and the small fish goes through it. That's what it's like with MP3 sort of thing. But I will leave links in the description, you know, to show you the difference between MP3 and wave formats. When it comes to EVPs and that, the sound industry, the music industry and the recording industry, you know, on YouTube, is very, very useful when it comes to sound. So the MP3, it's a compression. It is it's very useful. It's very useful to us on every day, because we can put loads and loads of music in a very, very small space. But with the compression, a lot of information is discarded with the compression, and that is why MP3 is not advised when you're doing EVPs. If you want to find out what's the best quality, some recorders, when you go into your formats, you know, your MP3 and your wave formats, you'll get on this model here, the Zoom H4n, the time left on your card is displayed on the bottom. Now, the less time that is left on the card when you go through your formats, your MP3 wave formats, 24-bit, 16-bit, whatever, the less time that is left on the bottom, the higher the quality. So, you know, you want, if at all possible, to have less time left on your card and have the better quality than have lots more time on your card and have MP3 format. But the other issue around it, and it's happened to me a couple of times, EVPs are sometimes not fully visible or not fully audible to the human ear. You have to go in through the software to try and dig these EVPs out. And you dig the EVP out and you know it's there, but when you go and upload the video to YouTube, you kind of you have trouble finding it. That's why YouTube this is one of the reasons, and I don't know how much compression it is, but actually YouTube videos is a compression. So, you know, when you're doing EVPs, always keep your EVPs in its raw form in your computer or in your external hard drive and stuff like that. The other question that was asked to me was, I think it's here, yeah. Some people are using tape recorders, and there's two settings on it. There's on some of them you have a couple of different speed settings that the tape records faster. Is faster, which is the best, faster or slower? The best speed to record is the fastest possible speed. The slower the speed, the tape kind of drags and the quality is not as good. You will have more space on your tape, but when it's faster you'll have less space on your tape, but your quality is going to be a lot better. So I don't know if the camera can see that, but you have on this particular one 2 speeds. So yeah, this is a micro, is it? Yeah, it's a micro cassette recorder. Is this better than digital formats? Some people say yes, and some people say no. But a lot of researchers say, oh, you know, reel to reel would be the best and all the rest of it. But when you think about it, when you look at the tape, it is reel to reel. It's just it's encased in plastic and it's a lot smaller, you know. So I don't know if there's much of a difference between reel to reel and cassette tape, you know. But yeah, the big thing to watch out for is your settings on your recorder. If you have WAV and MP3, always go for the WAV. But these particular recorders are being sold by ghost hunting companies for nearly £100, and they call them EVP recorders. This is not. You spend a lot of money and you think it's a good quality recorder. Don't get me wrong, it's a good quality recorder, but I only use this now to keep music files on them, you know, and you know, a little bit of storage or whatever. But you know, it is a good quality recorder, but it is not the best. It's not the best recorder to use for EVPs. If at all possible, try and get the best recorder you can get, the best quality that you can get. So, you know, you got the Tascam DR05 is only a little bit more expensive than this, and you know, you've got the Zoom H1 as well. But a lot of paranormal investigators, they'll go out and they'll turn on their recorder, and because it records your voice, they just record it. They won't go through the settings, and they'll press record and then they'll play it back, not knowing what even their settings are. So, you know, you go into your settings, you go into your record settings, and then you will get a list. You'll get a list, and make sure that you have MP3 but WAV as well, and always take the WAV. Great information will come from you know, YouTube channels that specifically talk about sound. It's not paranormal, it's about the music industry and that, but in a way they're the experts on sound. So that's where I'm getting my information when in regard to the H4N and the H1 and the H1N. Great little recorders these. The H1 is the older version of the H1N, and the buttons along the side here, most of the function buttons are now at the front, and a gain dial on the top, which is a much better design. If you're a paranormal investigator, I've worked with paranormal investigators before, and they swear by these little things. And when I looked into both of them, the Tascam DR05 to me was the better quality, because I compared the two through a lot of videos. This is the Tascam DR05. It's kind of a semi-professional. This is sort of a semi-professional recorder, and this. There's not much difference in the pricing between these two here. The difference is this one is more professional. This one here is for recording audio in the office, a meeting, or things like that. You know, you're not going to be too worried about the sound quality if you're just recording a meeting for somebody that can't make it to a meeting or whatever, or speaking out a letter before it's typed or whatever. You know, these do the job, but these here are used in the sound industry. And then you got, well, these two are of the same sort of bracket. These two are competitors to each other. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. Quality seems to be a little bit better on this than on this, but this I find pretty handy because it is light and it is small, and you know, it's there's not much of a difference in the sound quality in that, but I find this one a little bit handier for carrying around and stuff like that. But you know, it's your own choice. What I'm saying basically is, if you want a recorder for EVP, some of these ghost hunting companies are selling shitty, cheap recorders that only record an MP3. If you want a recorder, if you want to buy a recorder, go through the specifications of it before you buy it, because if you're recording an MP3, you're going to lose information. You know, with the compression of the MP3, you're going to lose. You know, in normal circumstances, that information isn't. You know, it isn't the end of the world. But when it comes to EVPs, you want to get recording as much accurate as you possibly can get to the actual audio around you, because EVPs can be picked up on very, very low frequencies, and you may lose your EVPs that way, you know. But yeah, I'm going to leave a link in the description of the difference between MP3 and WAV format, or WAV as they call it. And when you're buying a recorder, go through your record settings and make sure, if at all possible, that it is on WAV format, on the highest WAV format that you can possibly put it on. You know, I made a mistake when I started out. I bought two different, I don't know where the other one is at the moment, but two different Olympus recorders that only recorders in MP3 format, and that's why I had to get new ones, you know. But anyway, folks, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, I've got a new recorder coming in. Well, it's an old recorder, but it's a weird looking thing. It's very very difficult to get, and it's kind of quirky, and it's got some great features on it. So hopefully it'll be here in a couple of days, and I'll show you around this little recorder. It's got voice activation on it as well. I found it to be a kind of a quite a strange recorder, so I'm looking forward to getting this, and hopefully it is what it said on the tin. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I'll put in some information videos in the description if you want to know more about the difference between MP3 and WAV format. I'm not a sound expert, I have to admit, but I'm in the learning process, and I'm getting a lot of my information on sound, starting to get more information from the sound experts, the people that review recorders and the difference between recorders, and that you get a lot of information from people like that, a lot of these sound engineers and stuff like that. So sometimes your information about your paranormal investigations doesn't have to be from other paranormal investigators. You know, when it comes to sound engineers are very very useful, you know. But I'm going to leave it at that. I will see you in another video.